So our goals for today are to reconnect after not seeing each other for a week. We're also going to practice using the closed-ended and open-ended questions, and we're going to also reflect on the need-finding process. Ooh, cinnamon for desserts is really good. It's very smart. And chili crisp is also good. Not to get caught up in spices, but so our agenda for today is we're going to have our icebreaker, and then we're going to go over the closed and open-ended questions. And then we're going to have a group interview activity followed by our break. Then we're going to debrief and have a need finding share out, and then we'll have our workshop time. And I think I'll be passing this off to Carrie.
Thanks. Wonderful to see all of you. For today's icebreaker, we're going to talk about feelings and colors. So the question is, what color do you feel today? And so the answer has two parts. So first state the color you're feeling, and then also a reason why. So the reason could be anything. It could be because I like the color, because I feel energized or reminds me of something or someone. Feel free to say like yellow, red, green, or if you want to be extra exciting, we have a color chart and to give some different names from a crayon box. So I'll share that with you right now. So for example, instead of saying like red, maybe you're feeling more of like a razzmatazz, and then say your reason why. So I'll go first and then I'll pass it along to someone else, and then we'll just all pass it along until everyone's gone. So today I was saying I feel like a burnt orange because I went in the sun for too long and then I got a little sunburned. I'm going to pass it to Alexis. You want to go next?
For sure. I was saying I feel melon today. I just like the color melon, to be honest. It looks nice. But I think it's like, it's been a very nice feel-good day for me. Got to sit in the sun for the first time this year, basically, so it was very nice. And then I'm gonna go and pass this to Tunyat.
Thank you. I would say shadow because today is as you know, the cyclone Mocha is coming to our western south part of Myanmar, and due to its effect, like many parts of Myanmar, there are many like heavy rain in many parts of Myanmar, and like there's a quick weather change because in the previous day there's very hot, like it's around 40 degrees Celsius in many parts of Myanmar, and now it's cold and rainy. So to do that sudden weather changes, there are also like sudden mood changes in us. So it's becoming like it caused me to feel dizzy and not motivated. So I choose that shadow color. So I will pass to Chen from Better Tomorrow.
Yes, by the way, my name is Anchan. Yeah, it's okay. For me, like the color is like gray because of the cyclone Mocha, like the effect of that. The weather is cloudy and like the sky is gray, so it's uncomfortable for me because I don't like rainy season and I definitely hate it. So yeah, like I'm so dozy and I don't want to make anything, but I'm really happy to see all of you. Yeah. Okay. I will pass it to Yuki. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm happy to see you too. Okay, I did not choose one yet. I'm going to choose Neon Carrot, mostly because I really like the name Neon Carrot, but also because I just roasted some carrots for dinner tonight and they were delicious. Some of them got a little bit burned, but I love food that's just a little bit burned. So That's what I picked. All right, I will pass it to Praise. Praise, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry, maybe I lost my connection. Okay, today I feel like sky blue because that's my favorite color, and the pants that I'm wearing now are blue, sky blue also. So when I see sky blue, I feel calmer. It brings me some positive vibes. So and during this day, I feel a bit stressed out, but trying to see everything in sky blue might make me relax and calm for the situation that might be hard for me. Okay, thank you. Yes, I would like to call out Mustang.
Thank you. I think I would choose the yellow color. Yellow is one of my favorite color, and also it reminds me like to be fresh. I think if I see the yellow color, I feel like very fresh, not green colors. My fresh feelings. Yeah. Well, pass to Xiago.
Thank you, Marcel, for choosing me. So if I have to mention my feeling right now, it's kind of like a blue because I did something crazy in the morning. I've never done like that, but I did it in the morning. So I think even it's crazy, I'm happy and like it made me stay away from the stress and pressure. That's right. Yeah. So I will call up another one. Who's still left? Maybe Hannah, I think. Am I right?
Yes, you were right,
Okay.
Coco. Thank you. I would choose the like light green color inchworm because I think it's funny and it's very electric. And I like it. Thank you, Kim. Who has not gone yet? Fansukai, did you go already?
Not yet.
Okay.
Sorry, thank you. And I feel a little bit like light yellow color because yellow is one of my favorite colors as like Mustang and Gochomyet. And when I see yellow color, I feel calm and peaceful. So today when I wake up, I feel a little rain outside of my apartment, and the weather is fine. I don't hate rain, but I feel I like the conditions when the rain comes out. So yeah, so I feel light yellow today. And I will press it to Sign Duan.
Yeah, do you hear me? Yeah, great. Yes, I will choose green because so last night it was raining and it's still raining. So the trees in my environments fresh and pleasant. So I also please fresh and pleasant. Yeah, last week I couldn't join this meeting because of lack of electricities and also mobile internet. But so I like to I like to meet all of you this time with together with my teammates very much. Yeah, so that's why I feel energized. Yeah, and motivated to meet all of you. Nice to see you again. Thank you. So I will pass to Leslie.
I will pick Fuzzy Wuzzy, like I mentioned earlier. The fellows are talking about it, but it's under hot magenta if you see it on the very right side. I just thought it was a cute name, and I think the color is very fuzzy, wuzzy, I guess. Yeah, and today I was very sleepy, so that kind of reminded me of this color, and I took a nap. Is there anyone else who hasn't gone yet?
You're the last one.
All right.
Well, thank you everyone for sharing the colors you feel and a little bit about the weather outside and what you're wearing. With that, I'm going to pass it back to Leslie.
All right. Let's do a Oh yes, thank you, Yuki. Let's do a quick review about closed-ended and open-ended questions. Because as you are conducting your empathy interviews, you might be finding that depending on what type of question you're asking, you might get different answers, or depending on how you ask the question too. So let's talk about two types of questions, closed-ended and open-ended questions. First is closed-ended. So closed-ended questions are answered with a short fixed response of one or few words, or one or few words. And you see, like the door, it's closed, so you don't have the person you're asking the question to doesn't have a lot of room to expand on what their answer is. So these questions often start with can, do, will, or have. So for example, if I ask, do you like your hometown? That's pretty much, it's a yes or no answer, or yeah, yes or no question. You don't have a lot of space to talk more about it. Or do you like cats or dogs? You just pick, either cats or dogs. It's not asking why, or anything. But on the other hand, you have open-ended questions. And like the name suggests, you see we have an open door now. They are answered with more than a short fixed response or of one or few words. So they usually start with why, how, what, describe, tell me about, or what do you think about something. And it's more open, like the name suggests. So for example, what is your hometown like? You can talk a lot about your hometown if you wanted, or describe your favorite animal. There's more space for the person you're asking to describe, to talk about their favorite animal. It's not just, so do you like one or the other? So let's practice with open-ended and closed-ended questions. So we want you to use we're going to have some questions on the screen. And we're going to ask you, is this a closed-ended question or an open-ended question? So if you think it's a closed-ended question, you can use that reaction, the applause. If you think it's an open-ended question, use the thumbs up. And then if you don't know, you can use a heart. So let's start. So the first question is, do you like durian? If you think it's a closed-ended question, you can react with the applause or the clapping hands. If you think it's an open-ended question, thumbs up. Or if you don't know, you can do the heart. I see some hands. Okay, so yes, it is a closed-ended question because it's just, do you like it, yes or no? So next question. Do you like coffee or tea better? What type of question is this? I see some durian fans in the chat. Yes, it is a closed question. I saw some hand reactions. So next question. How do you like to spend your free time? Is it a closed-ended or open-ended question? I see some thumbs up, hands. I see all three reactions actually. So I guess this is kind of a trick question. It is halfway open, question mark, depending on how you interpret it. It's not as open as, some questions, but it's also not just, I don't know, like, do you have free time? That would be like a closed question. But yeah, good job. Okay, next question. Why did you join this program? Open or closed-ended? This is an open-ended question. Because yeah, there is a lot of space for you to talk about why you joined the program. So yeah, good job, everyone. And another question, how did it feel to conduct an empathy interview? You think it's closed-ended or open-ended? Okay, I guess this is also a trick question. Halfway open. Yeah, so good job, everyone. I think you did pretty good. And telling if it was an open-ended or closed-ended question. And with that, I will pass it to Style for our next section. Woo!
Yay, good job. uh, we gonna have a practice time. So we have interview activity. Halfway question. Okay, we have a question in the chat. Would you explain me in detail more about how we open question mean? Let's see, would you like to take it before we move to next?
Yeah. I think it can be open to interpretation, like how you take the question, but the reason why we put halfway open for the how questions, like how do you spend your free time? What was the other one? How, it was also how. But anyways, was because I think a question like, how do you spend your free time? It's not just, do you have free time? Yes or no. It's not just a few words, right? But at the same time, I don't think it's as open as something like, why did you join this program? I think you can talk like on and on and on about, well, I joined this program because, this is my background and here's what I want to do in the future and other stuff. But then how do you spend your free time? I think is somewhere in between. Like, oh, I don't know, I read and I like to garden, and maybe like one or two sentences. But I wouldn't worry too much about like, oh, I don't know what a halfway question is, because I think it is kind of open to interpretation, like how you think. Yeah, it's not very strict is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, but anything else to add?
I just want to add, like, it might depend on the person that you're talking to too. Like Pansu and Julia, they're very like talkative people. And so maybe for them, nothing is really a closed-ended question, right? Like they always have something that they want to add. But the reason that it's important to know the difference between the two, or to, maybe think, oh, this is kind of halfway open, is because as you're doing interviews with people, you want to have questions that are easy for people to answer so that it draws them in, but also have questions that, create an open space so they can really have a lot of freedom in what they're saying. And so having an interview with a good mix of questions, I think, can be really helpful. Yeah, but that's a great question, Grace.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's go have a practice time. So we will have like two rounds. You will have a chance to spend your friends in the breakout room in order to practice close-ended question. Again, close-ended question answer with short one word or fixed response, yes or no question. So it's often start with like, can do with wear have. And so you can pick up like, at order. So maybe you get one round demonstration, like I will show you how you can do it in the breakout room. So I'm gonna ask Lexi. Lexi, are you a fan of Korean food?
Yes. I just made some. Yeah, and then I guess I'll ask Yuki something.
Yes.
Yuki, do you believe in aliens?
Oh, yes. But I can only say that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then style. Can you play an instrument?
No. Let's see. Again, like, do you believe that anime have emotion similar to human emotion?
Yes. And then I'll ask Yuki, do you like Brussels sprouts?
Love. Style.
All right.
Oh wait,
Okay,
I have to
yes.
ask you one. If you
Yes,
ever
yes.
got a style, if you ever got a tattoo, what would it be a tattoo of?
Butterfly. It's gonna be in my neck. All right, thank you. So have fun in your breakout room as well. So you will think like in the breakout room there will have three or four people in breakout room. So you will have 8 minutes to practice close-ended question. Okay, are we ready to go for breakout? Okay, yes. Welcome back. How was your breakout room? So our breakout room was so funny, and also Julia asked me lots of hard questions.
Oh my God, I didn't mean to. Now I'm afraid of going to round 2 because how can people ask very deep questions for a close-ended one? Couldn't do that.
Yeah, it took me for a while to think about, when I heard the question from Julia. Anyway, I also hope you also had a great time in your breakout room. So let's move to the round 2 for the open-ended question. So I think you will have more chance to talk more than round 1. So but we want you to focus on question related to your project. So that would be really nice to learn each other as well. Let's take a chance to learn more about each other. All right, there's an exam question here, so you can ask what did you learn from empathy interviews, or tell me more about your hobby, to do with grand fund, or can you please tell me one thing that you are going to implement, with the grand fund, or can you please tell me that one of the most activity that you are excited to do with grant fund, something like that. We can ask lots of questions related to the project, to your project. So we have 15 minutes.
Hi, Yuki.
Hi,
How'd it
Yuki.
go in there?
We've had every technology issue arise during that.
Oh no.
We somehow got through it. Everyone answered questions, but it was a challenge.
Oh no. I know. Everyone's having electricity outages. Suyadna Ong says hello. She couldn't join today because she didn't have enough electricity.
Yeah, power outage is too bad. How was your breakout room anyway? All right, I think everyone, most of the people just show the smile face, which is me. You had a great, you enjoyed the session a lot. I hope so. But I want to pass to let's see for the debrief.
Right. If Yuki can share the screen again.
Yeah.
But before we do this, we're going to do a Zoom waterfall. If you remember what that is, that's, you'll type your answer in the chat, but don't send it yet. We'll all send it at the same time. So my Zoom waterfall question for you is, which room did you like better? The first one, the closed-ended one, or the second one, the open-ended one? So you can just type 1 or 2, or if you want to type closed, open, and don't send it yet. Is everyone typing? Yes.
Can we say both?
Or if you want to say both. Okay, and we'll all send it at the same time, except Julia. She has to send it, but it's okay. Okay, so everyone press enter at 3, 2, okay, 1. Oh, a lot of people said both. Okay, but that is our warm-up question. So now we'll actually go to the debrief question. So first question is, what did you learn from another participant that surprised or delighted you? If anyone wants to answer, any volunteers, you can raise your hand, or I don't know,
Hi.
unmute. Go ahead, Julia.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think both rooms are important, like both open-ended and closed-ended question. We had to mix them to make people feel, I don't know, have a little break because we had to do that in our round 2. Because I mean, when we actually asked, the like why, what, how, like the other party had to answer with all the reason or whatever happened, right? It's all deep. Like we really choose deep stuff like Korea and like what do you do and yeah, about the project. We have to tell everything. It's vulnerable. It is to respond with whatever you're struggling with or whatever you're doing great. So actually what we did was we asked the open-ended question and we follow up with a closed one to actually, I don't know, break the little tension that we had with the open-ended question. It was interesting how we naturally did that. And I have to say, I was in the room with Style and Tomiet, and I learned like 2 really important things from both of them today. Tomiet, I just learned today that Tomiet was practicing medicine, and he is willing to keep up with the career, even though he has a long break because of the political situation, because of the COVID and stuff, but he still wanted to do that. For me, it's really rare to see, people around me, they study medicine solely because of, I don't know, the high salary or their parents want them to be the doctor. But once something breaks them from studying medicine, like I have a lot of other medical students who had to pause their education, but they're not willing to go further. They are happy that they could stop here and not live up to other people's expectation. But Tumya, he's very solid with his choice. He's still finding ways to be a doctor. I was like, we're gonna be a doctor friend. And with Style, as we all know, she has her own project really going well, and she's doing a lot. And that's what Tomia asks. Style, you're committing to a lot of things, and what is your future career? And she said she lives in the moment. That really relieved me, because now that we are granted with the funding, I'm really I don't know, spending my past 2 weeks looking forward. What do we do? What are we gonna do? What should we do with? So it's really exhausting. And of course we have to do everything we have committed to, but we also have to learn how to live in the moment and what we can do right now. So it was amazing. It was very therapeutic at the round 2. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Julia, all of that. I'm so glad that you had a nice conversation, and you learned something about your other program people, that because I know we don't necessarily have a lot of time to talk with people from other groups. But yeah, does anyone else want to share about the first question? can just unmute for anything if not. Oh, Aylin, go ahead. You raise your hand.
Hi. I think like for the close-ended question, we can get the answers very short to the point and we can get a very clear answer. But for the open-ended question, when we are asking about that, I think it can bring out more from us. Like when I was answering to the questions that praise us for our project, how is it going? And like things can go really deep and I can say, okay, like we have a lot of struggles and but we are still keep on going. It was kind of deep. The open-ended questions are kind of deep and nice conversations, and it can also reflect how far we have come, like how far we have come as a team, how far we grow, and it is really nice to see all the things. Because this time when we got the grant, there will be more responsibility for us to carry out. We have to give more commitment. So most of us might feel tired and stressful for the next and upcoming projects. But I think we have come so far, like look back how we have grown and keep on hanging there and keep going forward. Of course, there will be challenges, but remember to be kind to yourself and just keep moving forward. You got this. We all got this. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. And then I see that, oh, a lot of people probably read what Uncle said in the chat, but I thought it was nice that he wrote how nice they are. Just, yeah, like it was another chance for us to get to know each other more. And yeah, it's nice that even though everyone has different projects, like I think you all found something in common with each other. So yeah, then I'll ask the next question. What did you like about the closed-ended room and what did you like about the open-ended room? I saw a lot of people put both as their answer during the Zoom waterfall, so I'm curious to see what your thoughts are. Oh, and how did they feel different? So anyone want to share? Or I'm gonna look up who put both and then call on you. Okay, who put both?
Praise.
Yeah. Could I answer?
Oh yes, go ahead. Thank you, Praise.
I think when we connect to reality, open-ended rooms, open questions will be easier for the interviewer to answer. But for closed-ended questions, they might need to brainstorm a lot. Like me, in the previous breakout room, when Ellen asked me several questions, I have to brainstorm a lot. So like this kind of barrier can the participant can undergo in reality also. And yeah, so the thing that I will like to, the thing I like most about it, like to create a good question is a kind of art because it shows your intelligence level also.
Oh no, she froze.
I know.
Are you still here, Praise? Okay, I think she'll come back when her connection's back. Oh, can you hear us or hear me, Praise?
Yes.
Okay.
Could I continue? Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
go ahead.
really
Of course.
with my question.
Of course.
Like the thing that I want to do, I would like to ask, how can we make like some of the questions might be biased answer. So how can we train the one who gonna answer our question not to be biased? So how can we do for that? Are you clear with my point?
Am I what? Could you say that again?
Yeah, so like for some open-ended question that we want the real answer, like the true answer from the person who gonna answer our question. But sometimes they cannot give us a true question. So like they might give biased questions sometimes. So how can we convey and avoid those kind of biased questions to receive from them? So is there any technique? Maybe this might be a bit related to other question.
Oh, how can we make questions less biased?
Yeah, of course. Like the answer, especially the answer.
I think for the answer, it's harder to, I think we all have our own biases. So it's hard to control what the person will respond, right? Like they're affected by their own experiences. So I think we are all biased in some way, but I think what you can do is to ask less biased questions. And I think open-ended questions are a good way to do that because so if you've ever heard, if all of you, if anyone has ever heard of a leading question, that means you're asking a question that's biased, you're leading someone to a specific answer. So there was a psychology experiment about this, where people at a crime scene so it was like a car crash or something, and they asked, did you see the red car? But there was no red car. But then a lot of people, because they had that question, did you see a red car? They thought there was a red car. So that's an example of a leading question, and you keep it in the chat too. You're leading someone to a specific answer. So I think if you ask your open-ended questions well, then that's the best you can do with kind of reducing that bias. Yeah, and I don't know if that answers your question a little, or if anyone else would like to add on to that.
Leslie, can I add on to that actually?
Yes, go
I
ahead.
think just from a research standpoint, like if you ask questions as a way of doing formal research, a lot of times you're very right, Praise. People will give you a really simple answer that you might already know is biased, or they just might not feel like they can speak freely about something. But one thing you can do sometimes, and again, you like Leslie said, you don't want to ask a leading question, but you can ask follow-up questions that you just make up while you're having this conversation. Like, for example, let's use this example. So Aylin's project, Aylin and Julia are working on mental health, right? So if I was going to do an empathy interview with someone about mental health, I might ask them, what does mental health mean to you? That's a fairly neutral question. And then maybe you would say back to me, Praise, like, oh, I don't think mental health is a problem in Myanmar. We don't have that problem. Then I would say that kind of sounds biased to me. And especially since we come from different cultural contexts, that would surprise me. So I would then ask you, what do you mean by that? Can you tell me more? Can you clarify that? So you can ask really general follow-up questions and like kind of push people to be more specific without asking a leading question, right? Because you're not saying like, tell me what I want to hear. You're asking them to tell you something more specific about what they said because it doesn't make sense, maybe. That's one option.
Yes, thank you very much. And I get it more clear.
Can I also add a tip? I think like asking for reviewers, like a lot of times I'll like write a survey or I'll have like an interview protocol, and then I'll ask someone like Carrie, who has like experience doing research kind of stuff, you know, like someone who has a lot of experience with these things. I'll ask them to review my questions and say like, you know, is this leading? And a lot of times there are things that come up, they're like, oh, this is how I read this question. That is not what you meant. So I think that can be really helpful too.
And the chat has some tips. So if people want to take a look at that, Yuki also wrote some stuff about tell me more. Oops.
Oh, can I add one more too? That I just
Go ahead.
I think another tip that could may be helpful is maybe you're doing these empathy interviews and you got some responses and we're taking notes, and then having some time to look at your notes and making sure that you've understood what was being said. But another way is to just actually check with the person, be like, did I understand this correctly, what you were saying, just to double check that you have that shared understanding. So it's like clarifying, checking for clarification, which I think was a tip that was also mentioned in the chat. But then just also asking. So that can happen at like even after you finish talking to if you still have their contact information too.
Thank you for sharing, Carrie. Do we have time for more, or is it a good time to go on a break, Yuki?
I think it's a good time to go on a break.
Okay, everyone, let's go on a break. So, as always, we'll be back in 10 minutes. But what is something you learned through your need finding? So, like we did before, you can just unmute yourself if you'd like to share something, or if you want to raise your hand. Either way. Oh, I'm not sure if some people are back yet. Or actually, let's just do a free-for-all. You can answer any of these questions. You can also talk about if you have any challenges you're facing with your need finding, or if you have any questions or feedback you have about the need finding process. It's a free-for-all. Anyone can answer any of the questions.
Hi. I think empathy building is a much needed process, especially for the social project, which are like going towards to create impact, right? When I saw the and like when we work on the template for strategy, I think that's a bit intimidating part, because when we call it strategy, we had to take into consideration with a lot more than what we actually think we should focus on. Like, for example, like the first thing, like what do you want to learn more? For me personally, when I approach need finding for the project, I think I go to myself first. Like, what would I want to learn more? Like, what would I think we need to learn more? So now that I look back that we did the exercise together, I feel like, is there any like right or wrong way to pinpoint the needs that we would like to, I don't know, bring through the process? Because I always afraid, like, what if we put the first thing wrong, then we're gonna need to think about the organization, the individual that we are going to approach to, what type of ways that we are going to collect to hear their needs and stuff like that. So the first step is really scary. Like, what do we need to learn more? I don't know how everyone's experience with that is, but for me, I was confused. Am I putting this right? Are we doing this right? Am I focusing on myself or the project? I don't know. It's scary. It's scarier every week.
Thank you for sharing, Julia. Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to ask, is this the question that you're asking? Is there a right or wrong way to approach the start of the need finding process?
I think so. Sorry, I was venting around.
No. Yeah, I don't know. What do other people think? Is there a right or wrong way?
Yeah, anyone have any thoughts? Well, thank you for sticking with us, Julia, even now. Or if anyone else wants to share more about what they've learned about need finding, or any challenges, comments, or as I always like to say, questions, comments, concerns.
CCC. Also, one thing, while I was like, because we submitted, Dodo submitted, we finished our need findings really late. So like we explore what other people are saying about, or like struggling about the needs finding, if they already uploaded the assignments, what is their approach look like for this specific exercise. So I actually go over the comment section and I explore other teams' ideas and approach on this. And I found like I don't know like if you guys check Dodo's template, the assignment, it's just a bit different. I would say no, when I say different, for us, we are like Dodo is like we are focusing on a very, I have to say, like mental health. It's not like small topic here, and once we sit down and think about it, like we have a lot. I mean, the areas that might needs as Julie have huge and significant needs. We feel like we kind of miss out. We can have to take them into consideration. And so when we like work on the template itself, I don't know, we kind of come up with a specific thing. Okay, we want to do this. We're gonna go for this person, and we're gonna do this. And you might see it's really vague. And when we go to like who might lead the specific needs finding process, you would say a lot of like team, like the whole team need to do this, not specific person can do that, but this specific person is quite fit for this one. This is how we link.
Oh no. Okay, we'll see if he comes back.
Maybe while we wait for Joy to come back, maybe I can offer one potential piece of advice. I think, one thing that Julia was mentioning was that, like a lot of her team's approach is a little bit vague right now. And I think that's okay, right? She also asked, is there a right or wrong way to approach the start of the need finding process? It feels really scary because you don't know if you're doing it the right way. One important thing to keep in mind is that you don't have to figure it out at the beginning and then follow that plan exactly, right? Like your plan can change as you go, and you're going to learn more things, and that's going to, spark more questions, right? And that's perfectly natural and perfectly valid and beautiful and great. So, those strategy documents, it's not so much like it's a prison, right? It shouldn't have to constrain your thinking. It's really just to make sure that you are thinking about those things, that you're thinking about, okay, what are the things that we really need to figure out? And as you learn more, you can add to that list. It can be a living, growing document. So I'll leave that in the recording for Julia to hear and be encouraged. Leslie, I'm wondering if maybe we should move into
next steps.
Yeah, our next steps, just for the interest of time. But if folks have other things that they want to share about the need finding process, definitely send a comment and ask lots of questions and signal. Okay.
I will pass it back to Yuki.
Okay. All right. Next steps. What do we have going on in the launch pad? Okay. So next week, we are not having a call. But in 2 weeks, we'll get to see you all again. Okay. And one of your assignments will be to learn about the speaker series. All of you are going to be presenting because all of you got grant funding because you're all amazing. So all of you are going to present there. You'll have a session for your speaker series. In here, this video, so you can watch a little bit more about what to expect and how to prepare. There's some good tips in there. If you want to look at some examples, there's some good examples here, including some from past cohorts. This one, you all receive this in your email as well, but you want to complete the logistics form by May 19th. If you haven't opened it yet, it's going to be a new login. So you'll need to create a new login. You can share that with each other. Only one person from your team needs to submit it for the whole team. And this is a little bit what it looks like. It's about 4 or 5 pages, and it asks you for some information about your presentation. If you have any questions, you can let us know. In the past, these events have been moderated by your fellow, but of course, this year, we're offering some times that are a little bit more Asia focused. So they might be really difficult for your fellows to attend. So you can kind of discuss that with your fellow and see, to what degree they can be a part of your session. The next one is very important and very fun. We're getting close to the end of our program. And so this is a tradition that we've had in the accelerator program from the beginning. It's called Paper Plate Awards. And so I want each person to give an award to everyone else, and our leadership team will kind of choose the best ones. Okay, so you want to be very creative and fun. And so each person has a little box here, and you can write in your award for each person. So maybe Carrie Sue, who has the most soothing voice, or she's the most likely to ninja build a house, right? Whatever it is, you can just give each other awards, and we will unveil the final award, whichever wins for each person, on our final call. Okay, so this one is really fun, and please do it because it's great. And then you have, of course, your weekly reflection, and then we have 2 optional assignments. Okay, so when we were building the curriculum this year, these 2 used to be required assignments, but Hannah and Carrie were like, y'all be nice to these people. They're preparing for their speaker series. So let's make these optional assignments. So you can have them to thank, but these are really interesting. I think they're good to dig into. This one is a little bit more about another angle to look at need finding. So looking at positive deviance in your community and extreme users. And then the next optional assignment is all about assessment or program evaluation. So I know a lot of your reflections last week have been about like, okay, how can we evaluate our program, make sure that we're doing a good job. You wrote about that in your grant applications. So there might be some good resources in here to help you get started with your evaluation plan process. Okay, any questions about next steps? Feel good? How are you feeling about the speaker series, about the conference? Feel good? Anton's like, yeah, feel great. Aylin, yeah, you're gonna do amazing. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be amazing. Okay. So I'm going to pass it to Hannah and I'm gonna stop talking. Talk about workshop.
It's workshop time. Cowboys. Just kidding. We're not cowboys. Okay. We're gonna do our regular workshop. Does anybody have any rooms in particular that they would like us to set up? Like, we always do support space.
I added mystical maybe tarot room.
Okay. You're pushing, Yuki's pushing the tarot agenda in these calls. Tunyat's gonna host the game room. That should be both fun and inspiring. Tunyat is always inspiring and funny. And today he said he's a dull color because of the rain. So maybe we'll be really like calming. Yeah, okay. Any requests, anything else?
I just noticed that Uncle Ko wrote in the chat, so I want to make sure nobody misses it. They wrote, what we found is how the experts view that problem, what we are going to address in our community is colorful, and we got different perspectives for how to approach it. For example, plastic waste management is a big issue to address. So we decided what we should include in our program as a priority, and then we pay it attention. Thank you for sharing.
Very well said.
All right, shall I open the rooms?
Yeah, send us
Whoop,
away,
whoop,
Yuki. Cut me off mid-cart, just kidding.
I'm so sorry. Did you do it? Did you do tarot?
I did.
Nice.
Yes, we did.
We did it. Yeah, Wenhua and Sutayong and HME were really brave and let me read this tarot. Oh, I'm facilitating this part. I was like
Yeah.
waiting for somebody else to be like, hey everybody, how did it go? Well, how did it go, everyone? How were your breakout rooms?
That was a great game master.
Oh, what did you play?
We played Scriblio.
Oh, that's fun.
It was good fun.
That's fun. I had a
Yes.
pipe dream. What?
Jimmy is a cheater. He likes to give you lots of hints.
Oh, that's fine. You mean a friend of the people, Yuki?
What were you saying though, Hannah?
Oh, I was just gonna say I had a pipe dream where we played Sudoku in the game room. Which is a very old man thing to do.
I love Sudoku.
Me too. Been doing it every day. Okay. What other rooms were there? How was the random room?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
this. Yeah, me and Stein talk about a lot. You know, our career and our education. And, you know, she also encouraged me to collaborate with her friends project. And she is doing like sex education in Myanmar. And she said she will collaborate, she will introduce us with her friends and to collaborate for our project. So I'm really excited to talk with her. And thank you, Marstein, for encouraging me in everything. She encouraged me to pursue my degree and pursue my career, and also she said that she is all ready for me to have with me any situation and anything. Yeah, thank you, Marstein, and thank you, everyone.
Style's the best. Thanks, Style. Okay. Well, it's 11 here. I don't know what time it is for you guys, but we're on the hour, so I'll say let's wrap it up. Ooh, we got a comment. Let's read. Just from Leslie. It's always good. You supported each other. No cars entered Alexis's apartment at this time, I hope.
0. We're good.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Wow. Okay. I think that's it, team. Yuki, is there anything else we need to say before the next 2 weeks?
Just want to say another congratulations to everybody. And we're looking forward to everybody's presentation, things like that. If you have any questions, I know it's a big thing. It's kind of your capstone assignment, your final assignment for this program. So if you have any questions about it, definitely reach out.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Or good morning. It's not night for you. It's really only night for like me and Alexis right now. Okay. It's past Alexis's bedtime. Past my bedtime where Alexis is. Anyways, have a great day, everybody. Can't wait to see you in 2 weeks. You're incredible. Stay warm. Stay safe.
Yeah, stay dry.
Much love.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.